Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Two Halves, Two Innings on our special football podcast. And today we are reviewing a weekend of football from Matchday 7. And I just want to say a big shout out and thank you to our sponsors of Synaptech. Guys, if you want to look at improving your vision through ophthalmic lenses, then please look our information below the video on information on Synaptech. What a weekend of sport. And you know what? Firstly, it was nice to see our co-hosts Amit and Rohit enjoying a nice mixed grill at Soho Tavern and enjoying the Chelsea and Liverpool game. And you know what? I thought that was an absolute fire up. What a cracker. Rohit, it was your first time at Soho Tavern. Firstly, tell us
It
a little
was.
bit about the mixed grills. How was it for you?
Yeah, it was good actually. I was quite surprised how many vegan options they had and vegetarian options they had. So I enjoyed it. While I was taking the paneer, I was missing you, Ajay. I said, Ajay loves his paneer. So while I looked at the paneer, I looked at the score. I said, there you go. I need one more paneer, man. So it was amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let me know. I just want to know what was more chillier. Was it the paneer or was it that Chelsea and Liverpool game? Because my gosh, that was some
Oh,
absolute drama at the end there by
proper
Chelsea.
drama.
2-1 winners. Who
Yeah.
loves a last minute goal? And Amit, I want to ask you a question. Who was sweating more? Was it you having the masala chips or was it Mohamed Salah trying to track Cucurella? I mean, he couldn't keep a hold of his man there. I mean, what's going on with Liverpool? Three losses on the trot. Now, Slot, is it a mini crisis at Liverpool? I mean, it certainly has shaken our co-host Dheeraj, who's not here. I mean, he's crying right now at the moment. I mean, your thoughts on the Chelsea Liverpool game?
Well, I didn't have any masala chips because unfortunately, with old age, I can't take spice anymore. So, in answer to your question, I think it was Mo Salah who was the one who was sweating a little bit more, chasing Cucurella back. But yeah, I mean, as you said, it's third consecutive defeat for Liverpool and the second time in the Premier League anyway that they've conceded a goal in stoppage time. So what Liverpool have been doing so well recently is obviously scoring them kind of late goals. That's happened to them now, so it's actually the role reversal there. But yeah, it's some very strange performances. Casado, wow, what a great performance and what a goal! Absolute beauty. I think we touched on in a previous episode that he's possibly one of the best number six in the world. And again, whether he is or not, but he definitely showed that he's definitely worth being considered, in that breath. But yeah, great, brilliant. It's this is Slot's first challenge, I'd say, since he's kind of been Liverpool manager. It'll be a real test of his leadership. How can he bring the players back? Can he add a bit of cohesion to the team? Salah, what's happened to him? He seems to have done a Marcus Rashford, got his big money contract and just kind of gone AWOL. Are we reading too much into it? Don't really care. It's really brilliant. It's really fun. I'm loving it. Come on, keep going. And Dheeraj, the longer you're away, the better because there's a link here. Since you've been away, Liverpool have been absolutely shocking. So, as much as we love to have you back soon, you can have that 9 months off.
Yeah, true.
Honestly, I've been laughing at all the memes that have been going on social media. Honestly, the people on the internet are absolutely fantastic. I know, Rohit, we were just laughing about this before, but Virgil van Dijk doing his best Tamanya Bhatia Aaj Ki Raat kind of imitation there. He was squatting before that goal. I mean, is that any way to defend? I mean, what was going through his mind there?
Well,
Just such a nice, easy
well,
option for Caicedo. So, Rohit,
well,
tell me
maybe
about
he
that
was
goal.
inspired by Johnny Wilkinson. Maybe he was watching some reruns of England's 2003 World Cup win in the Rugby World Cup
Yeah.
because he had a very similar pose to what Johnny Wilkinson used to do when he used to kick that drop goal. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, the
Those
memes have been incredible. But
It
Rohit,
is
tell us
incredible.
about that.
They've been
What was
they've been
happening there?
all over social media. I can't stop laughing to be honest. But again, I think yeah, that's what I was thinking. He does that a lot, right? Maybe that's why he gets the record of no one has gone dribble past him.
Dribble past him.
Because he doesn't even try to stop them. But again, it was a great goal. But I think they should have defended pretty better than they defended. How they defended. Yeah, but I'm enjoying this little challenge what Amit mentioned was Slot. I think now we will find out
Mm.
Slot's managerial expertise, how good he is. But I think he will come up because I could take it as a blip for Liverpool because they're still gelling with new players. They
Yeah.
have. So I think, but as soon as they don't go above Arsenal, and Arsenal win the league, I don't care what happens with Liverpool, to be honest. But back to defending, back to the memes. If no, Ajay, you mentioned like Tamanna Bhatia's Aaj Ki Raat. So guys, if you haven't watched that song, please do watch it on YouTube. It's
And
Tamanna
then you'll understand
Bhatia
the.
Aaj Ki Raat. We will put it in the description, especially for Ajay. So
That's it.
guys, please do
Well,
watch it. You can see the moves
But
she was doing, and then
in terms of tactically, Ajay, I mean, I know you're a bit of a tactical guru here. I mean, what I felt during the games is again is another game where the fullbacks, so Kirkes and Bradley were kind of exposed quite a lot. So, I mean, did you feel that was the case, or am I kind of
yeah.
just looking for
No,
faults?
well, I wouldn't call myself a guru, but reading into the game and looking at it, I think the problem is quite obvious. Mohamed Salah is an absolutely fantastic player. Every single Liverpool
Yeah,
fan will say, Mohamed Salah has carried that team and performed in exceptional circumstances and won loads and loads of games. But now we are not seeing that same press machine. We're not seeing that front three dynamic. And I touched on it last time as well. I said to
you
Dheeraj
did. Yeah.
that Mohamed Salah is going to be underlooked a lot this season. And I know he said that he doesn't
Mm.
have to perform. He doesn't have to perform. We've got 4 or 5 brand new signings that are going to perform. But it just opened up so many kind of worms for Liverpool because if Salah was not there pressing the centre back, or even if he wasn't cutting the ball between centre back and Cucurella, it meant Cucurella and Garnacho had a 2v1 against Connor Bradley all the time. And so he was exposed, like you said. And that meant Gravenberch had to pull up to the right. And it just created a bit of an unfair advantage for Chelsea on the wings. So a lot of their central play was kind of minimised by Liverpool's midfield three, which was great. Obviously, playing Soberslai in his natural position as well as Gravenberch and McAllister. But they left so much space for Caicedo, and Caicedo was able to turn and look how much
Mm.
space he had in that middle to get the shot. I mean, neither Konate or
Yeah.
Van Dijk knew where to go. So the main problem was with Salah. This is kind of what Ronaldo did with United, unfortunately, and this is where Ten Hag and Ole struggled as well. Is that you've got a prolific goal scorer, but unfortunately, you need your strikers to also come back and also track back, and that's where Maresca and Chelsea did really well with Garnacho and Gusto as well in midfield. He's a defender, but he played in midfield and man marked the daylights out of McAllister. And again, you need your wingers to come back as well and to protect the defenders. And this is
That's
where that's where the game was like lost for Liverpool, was where Salah was just not
mm.
tracking back.
But I think that's what the
And
today's
something that
game is
you.
all about, isn't
Oh,
it?
no, sorry.
Because sorry, so
Yeah.
I mean, this is what today's game is all about. Every manager would want their striker or their top three players at the front to defend as well, right? It's not always about like old days have gone where the striker can stay, near
Mm.
the opposition half and then just wait for the ball to come in. Now every manager will say, no, come in, stop, right? Because they say defending
Mm.
start from the top, not from the defenders. Actually, starts
Yeah.
from the attackers. So
But
they,
the
I think
press, yeah.
this is what's happening. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Amit, you
I
wanted to
think
say?
Jamie Redknapp's been listening, I think, Ajay, because he quoted what you said in the last podcast that he feels that Liverpool are missing Trent. Um, you
Yeah.
know, um, his passing and his ability to kind of release the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he's kind of joking aside. He echoed what you mentioned as well.
Mm.
That's it. All we can focus on is obviously what these 11 players are doing on the pitch, and
Yeah,
like I said, there is a disjoint. I think, even Carragher was saying it's like watching basketball. They're very end to end. There's
yeah,
no kind of cohesion in that midfield. And obviously, like, we like to obviously talk about Florian Wirtz. If he was actually benched. That's 150, 100, what, 20 million, 115 million pound player on the bench in a big crucial game. And obviously Etikite as well. I think the substitutions by Arne Slot were quite interesting as well. So I don't know about you guys. Obviously, when it came to the second half, he had a back four of Soberslai, Gravenberch, Van Dijk, and Robertson. That was quite strange. I mean, you've got Frimpong who he's bought, and he's not playing him in a position. And obviously, why didn't he put Kaiser if you're chasing the game, or if it was 1-1, and you put on Endo? And I think it was a very interesting substitution. The 11 that finished that game was quite a strange one for me, to be honest. And I think that with Arne Slot, he's really troubled by the fact that he has lost the pace up front. And I think, you know what, one of the things I will say, and I think a lot of Liverpool fans will agree, is that they really had a mistake of letting go of Luis Diaz. He was an exceptional player. Same with Sadio Mane. That left wing position for Liverpool has always been a fantastic outlet for Andy Robertson to play balls into and do overlaps and connect with anybody in the middle. They really missed it. They really should not have sold Luis Diaz, and I think they shouldn't
Well,
even
the
needed to
thing,
sign Alexander Isak, and I think that was a mistake. And they didn't really need to sign Florian Wirtz, if we're really honest. I think they needed to get
I
Matt
think,
Gay. They needed to get a better right back because they needed to replace Trent, not with Frimpong, but with Trent esque type of passing, because that's where Salah's now starved of his kind of role. Because now, if Slot's saying to Salah, you don't need to track back, you can stay up the top. There's nobody there that can deliver a ball as good as Trent used to. So it's really concerning now for Slot.
but Wirtz kind of, I think when he came on, he kind of had a positive impact
Yeah,
for
started
Liverpool. I
well.
know
Yeah,
obviously that,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, he started well. But in terms of Luis Diaz, now I can't remember who was kind of signed to replace him. So who was his kind of replacement, or who did they get into? That's why this one was it Wirtz? No.
Yeah. I think words or
Probably,
Yeah, because
yeah.
I
goalkeeping.
remember
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
lot of Liverpool fans were actually saying, "Oh,
We go
we
back
won
to
the league
deal.
and we
Yeah,
replaced
yeah,
X
yeah.
with
With yeah,
so Diaz with Words." And I
was
remember
yeah,
Mo Salah put a message on
yeah.
kind of
He
his socials
actually
to say
yeah,
respect. It's fine that we celebrating new signings, but basically he was saying kind of respect the
the
players that
win.
The champion.
helped
Yes,
achieve the
yes,
success. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean the thing is like regarding Slot. Is he under are things coming to, are there cracks appearing? Because, I think he's great leadership last year because he didn't really change much at all. He kind of pretty much just kept Klopp's team and just, tightened the defense up. Okay. But this year, either through people he wanted to leave, in terms of Trent or his choices, or whether they were his choices or not, there have been many changes. So these are players that he's brought in or has approved, and now there's a shift in the dynamic of the team, and so it's not the team that he won the championship the league with,
Mm.
and is that what what the Van Dijk is referring to in terms of we knew this was going to be a season of disruption. So again, you don't know. It's a strange thing to say because for me, I think as we said, it just it just adds more media pressure to what's he talking about, adds speculation. We didn't want to talk too much about Liverpool. Now we've ended up being Liverpool's version of MUTV. So
I think yeah, but I want to say this right, guys. It's only 7 games, right? Like I said earlier, I hope they remain like this, but yeah, as just a normal fan outside, right? It's just 7 games. They are still gelling, but you never know what could happen
yeah,
after the
Yeah,
international break.
but
Now he has time to think. 2 weeks, maybe he will do some changes. But I'm totally I totally agree with you. I mean, when you said right, they changed 3 main players with Nunes, Diaz, and Trent.
with Trent.
But again, but Arsenal, I'm going to come back to Arsenal now. Arsenal changed their kind of half of the team as well, right? Now I know you're yawning
Here we
now,
go.
but this is what I'm saying, guys. Sometimes when you change those players, sometimes it can have a negative impact or could have a positive
yeah, yeah.
impact.
I agree.
So I think it's all comes down to the manager Slot himself to say how he will get out of this situation and go back to winning ways like he was last year. But now the pressure is last year everyone said, "Oh, it's Klopp's team." Now they're saying Slot's team now because he changed a lot of players. So he's
Yeah,
wants
but
to
I
play
disagree
his
with
way.
that though,
Yeah,
because
you still
remember,
think it's Klopp's team.
Slot.
Yeah, yeah,
I see. I don't. Remember, Slot didn't win the league. Sorry, Klopp didn't win the league in his last season at Liverpool. So so Slot won that league with that team. Now he obviously did something with Klopp's team to make it into a championship winning team in his first season.
yeah.
So I think he deserves big credit for that. I mean, if you Arnie Slot now, you were manager, what would you be doing, Ajay? In this international break, what would you be doing?
Firstly, he needs to make a massive decision on is Mohamed Salah droppable. Now that's the key. That's the key question. If he can say and if he can be strong in that dressing room and say, actually, you know what, I know you're my star player, and I know you've been a star player for many years, but right now you're not doing the job I require from you.
But he
And if he
dropped
can
him
get
right
that
in
into
against Galatasaray. He dropped him. He was on the bench. He didn't start the game.
Well, but that didn't work for his favour either because Galatasaray were a very high pressing, energetic team. But then obviously Liverpool fans were blaming the pitch and the noise and the whistling. But anyway, so the thing is like if for let's just say a Premier League game, especially if it's like a home game or even an away game, where the standard is a lot different, it's more tactical, more pressure, more physical. If Salah's not pressing, that's 10v11. Do you know? So that's going to be hard for any, champions team, anything at all. So he's got to think, okay, am I going to put Gakpo, Etikite, and Isak? Can I try that? Front three, because I think Gakpo actually plays pretty good. He got the goal, and he linked up quite okay with Alexander Isak. Or does he think, what, do we go with a four in midfield system and kind of play two up the front and kind of have more control in midfield? Because really, a lot of teams are getting through that midfield very easily. And then he needs to work out his back four. He needs to work out, do I trust Frimpong and do I trust Kerkez? And are they going to be my back four as well with Van Dijk and Kanate? So he's going to have to look at all the holes that have been opening up in the games against, Palace and against obviously Chelsea and think, where can I, fix that? If he does end up keep playing Salah, then he has to work on the other 10 players and say, look, all right, Salah's not going to be pressing or tracking back. You guys have got to be more solid in midfield and defence and get that outlet to Salah as quickly as possible and then let him do his thing.
Mhm.
But I think at the end of the day, let's move on from Liverpool, Chelsea,
Yeah,
because we're
let's
going to
move
talk
on,
a lot
guys.
about
It's
them.
really boring.
Can I just say one
Yeah.
thing quickly, if you don't mind? Very quickly.
Go on then, have it. You got 30
With my
seconds.
leadership pattern, if I was Arnie Slot now, what I would do is I would kind of sometimes kind of as leaders we make too many changes that ends up kind of causing disruption. So I would go back to basics, okay, and try and maybe make the changes evolutionary, so they're not happening one go, but the plan is to kind of step by step introduce the changes so the team ends up being kind of what the players end up being where they are now, but doing it a phased kind of approach is what I would do, because I think that he's either forced or not, there's too many changes have been made. So get back to basics, get back to the system, as much of the players as possible that obviously won the league, and then do a phase, kind of introduce the changes slowly, and then by then hopefully they would have gelled.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Perfect. Well, we said to ourselves that we were going to give ourselves 20 minutes to have this podcast on, but we do need to crack on and get to Rohit's team of Arsenal versus West Ham, and then also discuss about Man United and Sunderland as well. So that's why I'm proudly repping the Man United top, a 2-0 win. So thank you, Reds. But yeah, Rohit, 2-0, comfortable victory against West Ham. But again, the problem is still there. You can't seem to get your players fit. Odegaard going down with an injury. Declan Rice, I think he was holding his groin or something. He's had a bit of an injury.
Yeah.
Or back pain, sorry, not his groin, so he's back, yeah. I know, throwing the kitchen sink at his old team, and he's done his back in. So positives, and again, how do you feel about those injuries? I mean, they've come obviously before international break, but I think Odegaard's injury is a lot worse.
It is a lot worse, I think, yeah. So I think it'll probably be, I don't know how, is it quite mild or is it quite strong? I don't know. The fracture.
Is it cruciate ligament injury?
Yeah,
MCL.
mild cruciate ligament. Yeah, MCL, I think. Yeah, so it might be 4 weeks, might be 6 weeks. We don't know yet. They haven't confirmed the timings, but it doesn't look nice. He became the first player to be substituted by injury in the first 3 games as starting, right? So
in the first half,
first half as well, it's just awful, unlucky, very unlucky. And he was actually back in form, what I could saw, like we discussed last time, right? Last episode in Champions League, he was brilliant. And then I was so gutted when I heard that, because we didn't watch the game. It was 3 p.m. kickoff. But when I heard that he's taken, oh my God, I said, there you go, hopefully we wish him well. He's a very silky player. I like him. So hopefully he'll come back soon, much stronger as well. But overall performance-wise, 2-0, I think we should have scored more. We had great chances to score more goals. And I think I was quite surprised with West Ham, actually. After first 10 minutes, they just went back pure defending. They didn't even bother to come in and then have a go at Arsenal. And that's why I think Arsenal had most of the possession. XG, what we could call it, good XG. And I think the only thing is that we only scored 2 goals. But again, win is a win, 3 points in the bag, top of the league for now, at least next 2 weeks. So I can't ask for more, to be honest.
No, you've had the
Yeah.
perfect weekend. You've had some good
Perfect
food,
weekend.
a
Good
mixed
food.
grill,
Yeah.
and Arsenal top of the league.
Yeah.
And yeah, I told you
That's
from
it.
last
And
week. I said
Liverpool
Arsenal got
lost.
a good
Yeah,
chance.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
told you.
No, it is. It is. They actually MOTD. They actually showed our team in Feb. We played against West Ham when we lost. It was in Feb when we lost the game, which derailed our title chances. Then the team now, big difference. Apart from White and MLS, um, whole team was changed. So I could see the bench was quite good. That's why when Odegaard went off, Zubimendi came in, and then the things changed. So
It's a good
then you can see,
replacement.
yeah, very good replacement. You can see tactically they were showing that Rice was playing as deep and Odegaard was ahead. But then when Zubimendi came in, Rice went ahead, and then Rice was playing up front as well, so higher up on the pitch. So you can see the tactics change when the players came in. So it wasn't like to like. So this is what we need now with players come in, tactics change during the game like
Yeah.
Mourinho used to do, right? 3, 4, 5, whatever. It does changes now. So I think again clarity is that every player knows their place, every player knows how to play, and now the competition is there like we discussed last time. Yeah, I think touch wood, I'm hoping for more goals now. That's it, especially for Gyökeres. Guy played very well. I think Mikel thanked him for the way he played, because there were two players on him that made Saka and Eze to come in and have the space as well. So I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I mean that exactly what a striker sometimes does. If it doesn't get the goal, at least he's
They
creating
make
the
spaces
space,
for
running down the
yeah,
talents. That's
Yeah.
it.
yeah,
And it was a good
yeah,
penalty for Saka to take. But the main thing is for you guys, another
yeah.
clean sheet. I mean,
Yes.
you've only
Yeah.
I think I can only count on one hand how many goals
Yeah.
you've actually
Yeah, I think
conceded.
One.
we
Probably like
conceded only three
two
goals
goals,
so far. Three goals so
three
far.
Was
goals.
it
Yeah.
three?
Yeah,
So
3 goals.
so
Yeah,
fantastic work
yeah.
from the defenders,
That,
and
that's it.
but yeah,
Yeah.
so again a 2-0 victory. And West Ham, you know what? Again, I'll probably say that the West Ham of last season is not the West Ham of this season. So you guys have probably played them at a very good time,
Yeah.
you
And
I
at
knew
home
you
as
guys
well.
wouldn't be
Yeah, yeah,
very
yeah.
strong. But we move on to another 3 p.m. kickoff, which was Man
Can I
United versus
just?
Sunderland.
Are you not going to ask me about Arsenal?
Well, you get the spotlight on the Man United. That was the plan. That was in the
No,
itinerary.
no.
Now I'm going to move on
I
to
want to
you.
say, I've got a funny anecdote. So,
Right.
Go
so my dad was asking about kind of how Arsenal done. I said, "Oh, they're one in the top of the league." He goes, "Oh, this is they're always good in the summer months. He says once the winter kicks in, they always fade away like southern softies." So I couldn't stop laughing when he
on.
said that. So,
Listen, we'll
but I
wait till
mean,
February.
actually,
We'll wait till February. That's a killer
So
month for
yeah.
we
Arsenal.
always say November is a very tough month actually. November where we lose most of our games. But hopefully, touch wood,
There
this
you
year
go.
we won't. Yeah.
No, you
But
got a good run.
talking about Arteta though, I think it was his 300th game for
300th
Arsenal,
game.
and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
there's 177 games now he's won. So that's the fourth, I think, most wins by a manager. I think the first was Pep with Man City at about 219, I think. And then there was Jose over the two spells with Chelsea. Then I think Kenny Dalglish with Liverpool, 185. So that's nothing to be sniffed
And
against.
yeah,
So it's
and if you see
good
he's a rookie
stats.
manager, if you see his first job,
Yeah.
this is why I was very impressed with him. His first job, such a big club as well, and then he's performing like this. He changed the whole culture, he changed the whole mindset of the team and the organization. This is what I believe, guys. It's always start from top to bottom and bottom up together. If you all think one way, it'll never work.
Hey, as long as he wins a trophy, if he goes
Trophies will
trophyless, then you
come.
won't be
See,
singing.
there was another stat. I know we love our stats. There was another stat that since I think last year, 2 years, I think Arsenal got 265 points, zero trophy, zero league. Basically, we won the FA Cup and Champions.
Yeah.
So zero league. Liverpool 249 points something, one league title. City 263 and two league titles. There you go, stats. With more points, but no league title. That's what I'm saying, guys. Stats are there, but there's a context, there's a story behind it.
That's it. Well, let's see. I mean,
The
this
main
is
stat
probably
is
going to
that
be.
Arsenal and Liverpool don't win the league, so that's the main stat that we're hoping for. That's the only stat me and AJ care about. So come on,
we don't
AJ.
want our
Sorry.
noisy neighbours in blue to win it as well again. So I'd
Yeah.
rather have
Oh,
Arsenal win it, to be honest. But anyway, we'll listen. Like we said, we're going to move on to another 3 p.m. kickoff, which
Yeah,
saw
tough
you
one.
my
Man
guys must be
United
happy. Yeah.
versus Sunderland. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
Amit, tell us. 2-0 again, Mason Mount on the score sheet. That was a good goal for him. And again, Sesko with a nice instinctive striker's finish from a long throw from Dallo. And what did you feel about United's performance? A bit more solid from Amarin's men, or a bit lucky to get away
It was
with
okay,
2-0?
but I mean, I'm gonna predict Man United to lose or draw every time, or be fearful, because that's the second game in a row, second second home game in a row that I've been fearful. First one was Chelsea, and we won that one. And I was thinking we were going to be lucky to get a draw against Sunderland, and we won that one as well. Mason Mount, his great goal. I think it was 18 passes before he finished. That was a joint top number of passes for a game. Sesko's a nice clinical finish. More importantly, I think the goalkeeper, Lemens, I always
Yeah.
forget how to say his name. Lemens.
Yes,
Yeah,
Lemens, yeah.
Lemens, yeah. So he had a clean, he contributes to a clean sheet, although I don't think there were many attacks on the Sunderland goal. But the reality is, though, first clean sheet of the season. Manchester United have won 3 Premier League games at Old Trafford in a row. Things a bit positive, and Amrin had a little bit of banter with the press as well afterwards, when he said, "I know you want a changing coach after the international break, but this performance has proved that the players are playing for me." I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far at all, but it's a win.
Mm.
Again, I'm going to say I'm not going to get too excited, because, as we know, the next game for Manchester United is away to our biggest
Ooh,
rivals, Liverpool at
ooh,
Anfield, and we're
ooh.
both licking our wounds a little bit at the moment for various reasons. So that'll be interesting.
But
That is
Ajay,
going to be a very big game.
yeah, big game. Ajay, I want to ask you, is that true that there was standing ovation by the crowd when the goalkeeper caught the ball off a corner? Was there?
Honestly.
Was there?
In Lion King when
Yeah.
Rafiki holds Simba
Yeah.
up, yeah, and
Yeah, yeah, at the
all the
beginning.
animals are all happy. That was the same feeling from all the United crowd when Lamens strongly came out and just took the ball from the corner. Yeah, that was amazing. Just took the ball. You know how long we've been waiting for a goalkeeper to do that? I mean, even with the likes of David
Oh,
De Gea, it was a bit kind of on the fringes of will he just punch it? Will he totally miss it? Andre Nana probably had a bit of Vaseline in his eyes. He could do with some synaptic lenses himself. But yeah, he just kept on missing it. And then Bayendier, he would just punch it to himself and probably end up scoring an own goal. So to be fair, seeing a goalkeeper on debut, just doing the basics, I think, that's what the United fans has wanted. Just do the basics
yeah.
right. Even when you've got wing backs
And
doing silly stuff like Dallo when we conceded a goal against Fulham, was trying to do a clever flick without looking behind him to see that there was an attacker right next to him, and then that's it. He lost the ball, and then they got the goal, which equalised. So these are the things where United fans, we're not expecting much. Just do the basics, win the 50-50s, put a bit of passion, do some slide
effort,
tackles,
hard work,
effort. Yeah, run down the channels. Track back the man's,
play for the
force the ball
shirt.
out, play for the shirt. That's all we want. And seeing a goalkeeper on debut with who's probably got the absolute immense amount of pressure. Fair enough, probably Anana and Bindy has not made his job really hard. I mean, you can't get really much worse than what we've seen over the last 2 seasons. But I think it was calm, collective. Xhaka had a shot
Mm.
from a bit outside of the box, and obviously that was a nice, comfortable save. And there was a one-on-one, well, kind of like a one-on-one situation where one of the Sunderland attackers right-footed the shot, and obviously Lament saved it with his
Yeah.
feet. Again, these are just basic things that just kind of help a goalkeeper kind of get a little bit more confidence. Save 2 shots. And on a different day, if that was Anana, he might have been in the wrong position. It could have gone in the mid in the inside post, and that's where we could draw the game. So at the end of the day, well
Yeah.
played to the young man.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is as well, I think what I'll say, I like David De Gea, but one thing, he was a brilliant shot stopper. But I think one thing I would put down that he wasn't good at was, I think, organising defence. He wasn't kind of
Mm.
vocal in terms of getting his defence in line. He wasn't in the ear of, the centre backs and
Defenders.
the full backs, just like kind of Edwin or Peter Schmeichel, so 2 United great goalkeepers. Now, obviously, I didn't see much of Lemens, and I don't think there was many situations where he may have needed that. But hopefully, what he will bring, as well as being a safe pair of hands, in terms of catching and between the posts, is that he'll bring a bit of voice to the. He'll be in the ears of the defenders, so he'll be shouting at them to make sure that they're kind of playing the way that have been instructed. So that's what I'm hoping for in this goalkeeper, because we didn't see that with Anana, we didn't see that with Bayern. I always forget to say his name as well. Bayern.
Bindia. I'll
Burnley,
Bayern
yeah,
Burnley.
and
Mhm.
yeah, and I said we didn't see that with De Gea. So good times. I'm looking forward to the football international break anyway. So, boys, are you going to be watching the international football, or are you going to be putting your feet up?
I
I
don't
think,
know. I won't be
yeah,
watching.
it's always good to watch, see what Tuchel's guys could do. I think we've got Wales on
Oh,
Saturday. I
that
think is a
game I'll
friendly.
watch actually. Wales one
Yeah,
I'll watch. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it'll be good. I mean, to see, but then again, none of United players on this, so it's just not. It's a mix, isn't it, of the England squad? But
But
it'll be
technically,
interesting.
Rashford is still United player, right?
Yeah,
He's on loan,
technically, yeah,
right?
and
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah. So
that could work well for you, Amrin, though, because he's potentially got kind of 10 days for a decent amount of his squad to kind of get ready for the big game.
No, but other players
mm,
are away, aren't they? Yeah,
Yeah, I mean well,
yeah.
that's specific for a
Everyone is.
big
Yeah,
big
yeah,
part of his players. Yeah,
mm.
yeah.
for the
That's the thing. I
northeast
mean,
derby,
honestly, we're going to talk about
northeast,
the predictions
northwest.
for next week's well after the international break, but playing Liverpool right now, obviously knowing that their players will be coming back from international break, and normally the fixture after international break, the teams are kind of a bit,
Mm,
sometimes they can
Yeah,
be on the
disjointed.
ball, sometimes they can be off
Yeah.
of it because a bit of a break. So I think it's going to be a cracking game. But we will review that, and we will preview that in our next podcast. And so please, guys, make sure that you stay tuned for that because it's going to be a spicy one as well with Liverpool playing Man United. But from me, Ajay, and from my co-hosts Amit and Rohit, who've all enjoyed a fantastic mixie and we've all had a great weekend. All our respective teams have won. And yes, Dheeraj, I'm really sorry that you've lost 3 in a row. Maybe, hopefully, it might be 4 in a row. But you know what? We'll see how that happens. But from us at Two Halves, Two Innings, we hope that you've enjoyed the podcast. Please do leave any comments. If you feel they're disgruntled as a Liverpool fan about Arne Slot, we would love to hear from you and any suggestions on how we can make your lives even worse. So, yes, please do like and comment. And again, thank you to our sponsors for this episode. And we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Okay? Stay safe and take care.